The Who Would Win of the Week this week is Danny Ocean versus Frank Abagnale, Leo's character from Catch Me If You Can.
So right off the bat, here's the thing about Frank from Catch Me If You Can is that he kind of loses his marbles.
He does.
You know,
There's my favorite.
the scene in the print, that one in the factory or the print factory,
My
whatever
favorite
it's called.
is, I think so, when he calls Tom Hanks on Christmas.
Yeah,
It's my favorite part. Tom
Yeah.
Hanks goes, "You had no one else to call."
yeah. Like he starts to lose his marbles. If there's one thing I know for certain about Frank Ocean,
Danny Ocean.
Danny Ocean. Sorry, well, I got Frank's on the
Frank's,
ring.
Danny's.
Danny Ocean. Danny Ocean does not lose his marbles.
Well, here's the deal, dude. Everything that Frank Abagnale is doing, he's doing on his own. And he's so successful at it. Years, decades.
Yeah, but
of at various companies.
That's the thing about running a confidence scheme.
Now, Danny gets out of prison, and the first thing he's like is, "I need my boys.
I need Brad Pitt. I need Brad Pitt.
I can't make any moves until I get Brad
Well,
Pitt."
no,
Frank
but
Abagnale,
they're running
he's
different
right.
kind of jobs. Like the jobs that Danny Ocean runs require crews. The confidence schemes that Frank runs, they're one man shows.
I'll tell you what, and I'll tell you why that is. For Danny Ocean, the con is a game. For Frank Abagnale, the con is a way of life.
Well, but I would agree with you that's how it is. But that's the problem is
No,
that
it's not the
Frank
problem.
goes
It's why Frank
insane. That's why he loses
saying
marbles.
he's a hustler, he's a player, okay? You can't hate the player, you got to hate the game.
Because
and
Danny
no one
Ocean,
is more committed to the game than Frank.
But that's the difference. Danny Ocean does it for the love of the game. He's still having fun with it. He's a smile on his face every time he steps on the court. Frank
Abagnale.
Abagnale
Mm-hmm.
does it out of necessity. That's how he survives. But you can't survive like that forever. You can't.
Kind of does, though.
No.
He gets captured, but he's so good. Let me ask you a question. Is the FBI walking into prison and saying, "Hey, Danny Ocean, we need your help"? Nope. They're saying, "Rot in hell, brother. You're done. You're locked up. Good luck to you." Frank Abagnale, he's in prison for what, 3 days? The FBI comes knocking on his door. "Brother, you got to give us a hand here. We need your help." He's the inspiration for white collar. Frank Abagnale. And here's the thing. It's a way of life. Yes, he does it to survive, but he didn't have to do it to survive, to tell you the truth. Because a guy like that, if he wanted to, he could be a fucking lawyer, right?
Yeah. But he couldn't be Frank Ocean or Danny Ocean. He could not be Danny Ocean. Because here's the other thing that Danny Ocean has. Dude, Danny Ocean also knows how to run a team. And that's important.
That's an interesting point. Because I do think Frank Abagnale, wow, I like that. I think he could get a team together, and I think they'd be great, successful. But his leadership style would be different, and not like, people work with Danny Ocean because they've worked with him before, and they like the experience.
He runs a good crew.
I think if you work with Frank
crew
once, it's probably one and done.
Yeah,
But that's also the way he would like it. But I still am picking Frank.
I'm taking Danny Ocean.
No, because it's in his blood. He's made.
Danny Ocean is the greatest of all time. He takes down the Black Fox. Night Fox?
Night Fox. Yeah, but Frank Abagnale, he is the con.
Frank Abagnale ends up in prison.
Danny Ocean starts in prison.
Yeah, different things.
Ladies and gentlemen, vote on that.
I'm obviously taking Danny Ocean.
And
You're
I'm
sticking
taking
with Frank.
Okay.
Vote on that on Instagram on Friday. Who Run of the Week? Danny Ocean versus Frank Abagnale / Abagnale from Catch Me If You Can.